our pantry. We're going to talk about detoxing our pantry.
Okay.
Go ahead. You
And
started
go.
off.
Well, for me, I think we always, and I say this often, but I think we have this mindset of lack and taking away. And when we get into diets, for example, or people think about living or moving towards a healthier lifestyle or eating cleaner, they always think like, I can't have that anymore. Or what can I have? I'm never going to be able to have a hamburger. I'm never going to be able to have fast food. So it's that mindset of lack in what we don't have or can't have. So when it comes to the pantry, for example, and we've talked about this in the bathroom, is that I always suggest, or we suggest, adding things. So add something that's cleaner. And for me, it's like a mindset. The more clean things that you have, the more clean thing that you want.
Yes.
It's the same thing as working out. Like when you start to work out, you want to work out more because your body feels great and you start to realize that. And I think once we start to add things, instead of taking away, we think about like clearing out our whole pantry, there's nothing in there, instead of being like, let's add some one cleaner product, and then you slowly transition away like, well, I don't want to put that unclean or toxic product next to the clean one. So you kind of slowly transition out. You may use it for a bit or you may throw it away, but I think that really makes a big difference.
Yeah, and I think like we've seen on TV, right? A lot of times those shows where they go in and they just take big garbage bags and get rid of everything unhealthy, and then you're left with the empty pantry, and it's super wasteful as well. So I think that the idea of adding and going slow is actually even more sustainable than just going in and wiping everything out in one clean sweep. And then you're feeling, as you go along, each product you add, you have time to educate yourself on the product, how to use the product. Whereas if you just do a clean sweep and buy everything new, it's overwhelming. And then you have things in your pantry, you don't know what it is, you don't know how to use it, and so you slowly revert back to what you know. But if we make it slow, sustainable process and start with one or two things at a time, then it's more comfortable and we know more about what we're changing or what changes we're making.
Yeah, it's super expensive to throw everything out and refill it back up. And then, like you're saying, it's not sustainable just to get rid of everything. Like that's not going to take you into long-term success. It's going to be like throw everything away, and then you're going to start to put some health food products in there that you're not really sure of. You're not sure how to use. You're not sure what to do with products you think you're supposed to have in there. And then I think, like you said, you'll just slowly go back to, well, my pantry's empty. Let's just grab this and put it back in. So, and again, I think that mindset of lack, if we could change that into more abundance and fill our pantry with cleaner types of products, then we'd be much better off.
Yeah, because if we're not sure how to use it or what it is, it's just going to sit there. And if we're not using it, we're not going to find value in it. So then we'll be like, well, let me use that. So then you'll go back to what you know, right?
Is there any staples that you would put in the pantry?
To start?
Yeah.
Like, what would be the first thing to look at in your pantry? I would have to say sugar. Like, white refined sugar would be the first one in the pantry that I would take a look at into transitioning into something healthier. So, there's lots of ways that you can transition from white refined sugar. And I always suggest doing it first by going to a cleaner sugar. For example, something a bit less processed, like a raw sugar. So, and then you can transition there into some liquid sweeteners, natural sweeteners like honey and maple syrup after that. Because this going right from a white refined sugar can be difficult sometimes to go to a liquid sweetener right away. So if you give yourself that transition stage, I find it very helpful.
Yeah. And then I would say, along those lines, just let's go through a couple quick here. I'd go to white flour. That's another one I think that sits in the pantry because that's where a lot of our baking stuff is. So again, transitioning from conventional white flour to better types of flour. And is there another one? One more?
Salt, white salt. I would transition to
pink Himalayan
salt. Yeah. I don't find that one so difficult because
Tastes the
It
same.
tastes the same. It's just a different color.
So those are the top 3 that we would say get rid of right away. And we are working on more details as to have like whole lists for you guys. So that's coming soon. But if you get rid of those 3 or transition, that's a good start to cleaning out your pantry or detoxing your pantry and then moving on to better things.